Welcome back to Briggs on Books, our international talk show where we talk to authors from all over the world about their work, their inspiration, where they get their ideas, and how they get published, for goodness sakes. That is got to be the hardest part. We've asked an expert to come on the show who helps authors do all these things. Melanie Warner. Welcome, Melanie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You have a business called My Defining Moments.
Right. The company is Defining Moments, and the website is mydefiningmoments.com.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have authors. We talk to authors in countries all over the world, which you work in many countries, do your work. And I always say congratulations to the author because they got it done. And there's so much writing it, putting the pencil down, getting it published, and now promoting it. But most people can't get to any of those points.
Absolutely. I learned from some of the best in the world. My mentors were Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield, who wrote the Chicken Soup for the Soul book series. And they have sold more books on this planet than any other human being. And Jack's the one that told me that it's only 10% writing and 90% marketing. So most people don't know how to market their business, their book, themselves, their brands. And even if they manage to get a book written and then published, it doesn't mean that just because you publish it, they will come. Right? That field of dreams that we all think about.
That's what most authors I talk to on this show say, that exact same thing.
Absolutely. So it's like, and the sad truth is most authors publish, they sell less than 100 copies of their book. So sadly people think, well, that's it. And they put all their energy and years and years and years into actually figuring out what to write. And the truth is, we all have some wisdom within us. We all have something that we could literally write a book about. Anything. Like my dad is a Sunday school teacher. He has taught Sunday school for over 60 years. And he's also been an attorney for over 60 years. He's taught Little League Baseball. He's coached for over 50 years. Our family has about 90 different income properties, so we've learned a lot about real estate over the years. He could have written a book about any of those things as an expert.
Expertise. Yep.
When I asked him, Dad, what do you want to be known for? He said, the Bible study lessons. And that's his legacy. So we actually he took all of these Zoom Sunday school, like during COVID. He's in his 80s. First time published book ever. And he took his Bible study lessons that he prepared during COVID and turned them into a book. And we gave a whole year of prepared Bible study lessons. And do you know that he has sold thousands of these books? He's making about $3,000 a month from selling these books, and he donates 100% of the money back to his church.
That's great.
Isn't that cool?
He took one of his expertises. He could have written on any of those subjects. I was going to ask you this, because you mentioned something earlier. Who should write a book?
Oh my gosh, great question. So there are lots of people that should write a book. If you're an expert, subject matter expert, we have people making thousands of dollars a month off books that are just teaching seniors how to do yoga, people how to use Zoom, how to do Excel. So any type of how-to nonfiction book is always very popular these days. And you don't really have to have a big name for yourself if you want to write a nonfiction book, like a memoir or, how to do something type of nonfiction book. When you're doing a fiction book, you have to realize it is about the author, the author's name. It's usually writing multiple books and building your list. There's a different marketing plan for that. But I will tell you that the fastest growing segment right now, especially with audiobooks, is the nonfiction business books. Like how to make money, how to solve this problem. So if you are a business owner and you don't have a book, we've seen this in over 300 different industries, but if you own a business and you don't have a book, you are literally losing 6 or even 7 figures a year, because a book gives you instant credibility and authority. So you can write it as a hobby. You can write it as a business. There's so many different ways that you can get your book baby out of you.
Wow. We used to read a book for, whatever reason, an entertainment. That's a novel. But the nonfiction book, there's so much we need to know how to do now. Like you said, using Zoom, using an iPhone. For old people, this is hard to learn this new stuff. So we do seek information all the time, when maybe 20 years ago we weren't seeking that kind of information all the time.
Also, we publish in 87 countries. So one of the things we encourage people to do, especially self-published authors, is not only have an ebook, but your book in print and an audiobook. Audiobooks are really rising right now because people are very fragmented society. We're all a little ADHD because we're getting our news in 180 characters now on X, and it's like we're not really going deep on certain subjects. And so when we multitask by driving, working out, we like to listen to books and podcasts. And so you find people that are very successful people that tend to be able to balance these things, but they're also very curious people and they're learners. So when you look at the people that like I personally know that are really successful people, they're always in that learning mode. They're always reading books. And sometimes they listen to a podcast on like 2 times the speed because they're just go, go, go. And so it's just a way to really find a different platform to be able to get it out to your end user.
Another thing is the baby boomers, me, we're that age where we can't see these books so well. So I'm always all day listening to books. I'm at the gym, I'm driving, whatever I'm doing, I'm listening to audiobooks. So.
And now there's all these cool tools. It used to be, I mean, in the old days, you had to like hire all these designers. You had to, get your book approved and published by a major book publisher. And then they would take 90% of your profits. Yes. And they still wouldn't really market your book. They still expected you to go do the marketing. So if you're going to do the marketing, you're going to write the book, you're going to do all these other things, you might as well make all of the royalties and keep those proceeds to yourself. And I'm speaking from somebody who's had major book publishing deals and someone who's been self-published, and I can tell you self-publishing is the way to go.
But it's so hard. People don't know how to get from here to here.
Yeah, that's
Is that
the
what
reason.
you can help people with?
Absolutely. New York Times said 88% of people out there want to write a book, and only 1% actually do. And so part of the problem is people say, where do I start? What do I write about? How do I decide the structure of my book? How do I know when it's done? Who's my book for? And I always say to start with who. Who are you writing this book for? Because you can't just write a book for yourself, right? You have to write the book people want to read, not just the book you want to write. So start with who, and then the rest comes into frame. So like, who are you writing the book for? What do you want this book to do for the reader? What do you want it to do for you, right? Where do you want to take this book? When do you want to finish your book? And I'll tell you, there's an urgency right now for this type of book because so many people have these expertise, they have this expertise and they don't really know how to get it out there and help other people solve a problem. And so you can literally fund your retirement by writing a book, creating a course, or becoming a mentor to somebody else who's up and coming, and people will value that knowledge. Yeah. So retirees and baby boomers, people are willing to pay you for your knowledge.
Now, as an expert in this field, I must say, and I know Melanie, I've known her for 20 or 30 years or something.
Yeah.
Are there unscrupulous people out there who say they're going to help authors and that people get taken advantage of?
There definitely are. A traditional publisher is not going to charge you to publish your book. If you are going to self-publish, there are people that are coaches, book coaches out there that will show you the steps in the process to actually write your book, edit, format, book design, cover design, how to market your book, and all of that. So you really just have to kind of use your own, like, I guess, common sense to some extent of when you're interviewing different people of who that you want to work with as a publisher. So we actually we publish books, but then we also teach and coach people on self-publishing because it really is the most lucrative thing for the author. Yeah. And I would rather empower people and teach them how to do it than feel like this is an exclusive club that you don't get a chance to join.
And people can call you, right?
Yes,
in
absolutely.
fact, check out the website. That's where they should start, right?
Yeah, you can go to the website, mydefiningmoments.com. We have resources for free, like how to write your book in a weekend. We do have some resources about AI. Some people want to use AI for research. Other people have very adamant about not using AI to write their books. Amazon is also very strict about low content, low quality books. They don't want a bunch of books just written by AI. So there's a really strategic way that you can do it where you can partner with AI, almost like a ghostwriter, and even train the ChatGPT to speak in your voice.
Wow.
So there's really unique things that we're finding as a way to partner with AI. So I believe that if you and AI partner together, you're going to write a better book than either one of you would on your own, because you can use it for research. However, AI will never be able to tell the human story. From if you were to ask it to write a book about its childhood, it really wouldn't have anything to say. So there is a celebration and rise of humanness that we also respect and want to honor in this journey of writing books and really using our brains to create something from nothing that adds value to somebody else's life.
Wow. But if people need help, they need to know where to find the help.
Absolutely. So I would encourage you to go to the website. You can look for some of the free resources, and also there's a little button that says book a call. If you'd like to speak with one of our publishers, they're actually standing by, and they will walk with you through this process. If you say, here's the type of book I want to write, we can walk you through the map, the steps, and everything you need to do. The call is free, and it just gives you a better idea of the resources that you might need to do, what your costs might look like, and really just how to get started. So it's just a process like anything else, Mike. It just is a few steps. It's no different than, making chocolate chip cookies or learning how to drive. Like, everything is a process and a few steps.
Nice.
So it's easier when you have the recipe and somebody helping you out along the way.
It's interesting you say where to start. Start by saying who are you writing the book for? All these years on Briggs on Books, that's a question I've been asking. Who did you write this book for? And that's a great question. It really helps show who they are, what they're after, and who they're writing for.
Well, even if you write a memoir, I mean, some people have really fascinating stories, but the thing is, if you just write a book about yourself and your own history, like, no one wants to read your personal diaries, trust me. But if you write a book about, like, your own journey, then you still have to bring the reader into it. You still have to make that story about the reader so they can relate to it and feel like this is them, this is for them. And there's a formula that we talk about a lot, where you have the hero and you have the trusted guide, and then you have the villain. So no matter what type of book you're writing, you must define those three characters, whether it's nonfiction or fiction, a children's book, or any of these things.
There you go. Our expert today, Melanie Warner. If you're writing a book, you have questions. If you've written it and published it, well, you could probably still get something knowledge out of her. But if you're writing, thinking of writing, been writing a long time, and haven't got across the finish line, you could help.
Absolutely. We have authors making 6, 7, even 8 figures a year. That's 10 million plus just from their book. We have people that have created multiple income streams from their books. So I know this can be done. So if you've ever looked in the mirror and thought, I want to write a book, I just don't know where to start, then I really recommend that you go to the website, check it out, reach out, book a call, and we'd be happy to walk you through the steps and everything you need to know.
Excellent.
To move forward on your book idea.
Last thoughts? Did we cover everything? That's a lot.
We did. I will say one thing I just want to stress is a lot of times people say, oh, I want to write a book, and it's more for ego. And I will tell you there's an urgency in information and knowledge being extracted, because we had an author that came to work with us in October. We started working on her book in November, and by January her book was ready to publish. She passed away 1 week before her birthday.
That was
in
her
January.
legacy.
And this became her legacy. So we went on to publish with her children, her mom and her sister, and her book has become #1 on the bestseller list.
That's great.
Posthumously. So her message is urgent, and it was really about health. And so I'm just so grateful that, we have the opportunity to do things like that and really help people get their book out. And the thing is, we all think we have more time in life, and we take it for granted.
I know we're past time. We're getting the signal, but PBS shows?
Yes.
We didn't get to talk about that.
We have a national PBS show called Recipe for Wellness. We created this show as a platform for a lot of our authors. We also just got the green light from PBS for our own television show called Defining Moments, where we're going to be featuring authors. We have hundreds of stories that we have as syndicated content in some of these books that we've written as collaboration books. And so we're going to be featuring those stories on our TV show. And if you are a health and wellness expert, we are casting for season 2 for Recipe for Wellness. If you want to be the next Dr. Oz, the next Dr. Phil, we would love to talk to you if you're an expert in your industry, and talk about potentially having you as a guest on our television show as well.
I didn't notice this till this minute. By Melanie Warner. By Melanie Warner. You have a lot of these books out.
I do. I have more books than kids now, which is so fun. But I literally love helping other people get their book babies out. So this book is called Write Your Best-Selling Book in 8 Weeks or Less and Make a Profit, Even If No One Has Ever Heard of You. This is the holy grail of our book training. This is where most people start. And if you finish this book and workbook, by then you'll have your book completed. It's designed to do 18 minutes a day and have your book done in 8 weeks.
Nice.
And we have cohorts to help people with weekly coaching and things like that. So there's other people going through that process, and you all can support each other and your launches. So I just say, if you're going to do it, it is a collaboration effort writing a book is not meant to be an isolated event at home or in your little shack writing a manifesto.
Either way, I think all you have to take out of today's interview with Melanie Warner, mydefiningmoments.com. Just remember that, mydefiningmoments.com. Go there and see what they offer. Thank you so much. This could be the most important interview we've had on Briggs on Books.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. And good luck, you guys. I can't wait to hear from you about your book. Let's get your book baby out there.
All right. We'll be back with more authors right after this.